Okay, let's get this party started. Thanks for coming. This is my last presentation of the day. So, all right. So here we're going to talk about top LTI apps for your Canvas course. LTI tool is basically just it's a standard. A standard of integration. It's like learning tools interoperability, and that's what Canvas uses to interact with third-party tools. They use that kind of protocol that allows for like single sign-on, grade pass-back, all that kind of stuff, or just regularly just installing functionality to your Canvas course. So if anybody mentions an LTI, that's kind of what it means. So the first thing I'd like to just briefly talk about, and I'll also demonstrate this in a little bit, are the resources available if your course is based on the downtown campus. The Auraria Library provides some pretty cool resources for you to add to your course, including a subscription to Films on Demand. You can go and browse a library of documentaries through Films on Demand and embed them directly into your Canvas course. And you can do that with an LTI tool. The second one is I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but I just like it so much. Doesn't really have a direct Canvas LTI integration, but it's super easy to just grab and embed code from Canopy Video. Canopy Video has a lot of classic films, foreign films, also documentaries, a lot of contemporary type of stuff. We have a subscription to that. So if you're based on the downtown campus, you can browse the whole catalog of movies on Canopy and just embed them directly into your Canvas course, and it allows your students to view them because they've signed in via Canvas. It basically automatically authenticates them in to be able to view these videos. Normally, if you're just going to the Canopy website, like if you provided a URL to your students, they would go to that URL, then they'd have to authenticate in and view it on the Canopy website. This allows you just to do it directly within your Canvas course. So I'll show you kind of how that works. The library has also built out a library resources page. We developed this tool and we added it as a tool in all the courses that are based on the downtown campus, where it's a content page that you can drag up into your course navigation, and it provides some quick links, resources, a little search box, and a chat box for Auraria librarians, for your students. If you're doing research, it lets them go through and do that and add some of that functionality to their course. There's the possibility of doing the same thing for the Health Sciences Library for those of you based at AMC. If any of you teach at the Anschutz Medical Campus want to get something similar, get a librarian there to reach out, and then we can build that as well. Also covers some specifically educational video content. There are some tools available within Canvas, within the App Center, for the Khan Academy and TED Ed, which allows you to go through and just search from within Canvas and embed those videos directly in a content page. Let's say you have some remedial content that you want to place in your course. Let's say for like a use case would be, let's say you're teaching biochemistry. Student doesn't really have a ton of great background in the chemistry part of it, but they kind of need it to proceed. You can go and find some Khan Academy videos and post that in your Canvas course for them to try to kind of get them up to speed again. And those are available just directly within any Canvas course on the App Store page. Pretty cool. A new option for collaboration is the Office 365 Canvas integration. This was rolled out fairly recently, I guess just over the current academic year. We did not roll this out to every single Canvas course because there were some issues, I think, with the assignment component that we just really didn't want to expose students or instructors to. But it works really well for collaboration, kind of like a Google Docs. You can have these collaborative documents through Word online, but also PowerPoint online and Excel online. So it's a lot more flexible than just adding a Google Doc, which is what the current Canvas integration does, and that requires your students obviously to link their own Google account to their Canvas account. That's not a university account. Office 365, every student already has an Office 365 account, it'll automatically provision that for them. So it's a great option for collaboration at this institution without having to jump outside and use Google Apps. So I'll show you that in a bit too. And then we also have a couple of other ones to talk about that might help increase the functionality of your course, including the redirect tool, the graph builder, which is kind of one of my favorite cool tools in here. And then we'll also show you the presentation I did just before this was on our TechSmith relay. I'll go over that as well for those of you who stuck around from the last one. I'll show you how that works, and then maybe can explain it a little bit more. So I'm going to jump out here. We'll jump into one of my Canvas courses. And first of all, we'll go over the library tools. So let me jump into modules. And let's go add a whole new module here. And I'm going to add a content page. And once we have the Films on Demand LTI added to this course, it will appear in your content editor. So once you open this, it might be hidden in this little sub-menu, depending on how many external tools you have configured. But once you go to Films on Demand, it opens up a little search box, and you can search by keywords and find certain videos in there, preview them, and then add them directly to your course. So let's go World War II. And it has these short videos. You can go through and preview them if you want to, and I'll just open it in a little window. But let's say we want to use this one. You just find the video that you want. You click Embed, and it's right there on the content page. You can write text around it. You can put in your put in images or whatever. You hit Save. And it's that easy. It's just embedded right there on the content page. So it's a useful tool. They have I'd encourage you, if you're based on the downtown campus, go to the Auraria library website, and it's in their video resources section, so you can get a little bit more of it. You can view the full Films on Demand catalog from there as well. It's maybe a little bit easier to browse than just doing the search here, but once you find the video that you want, it's super easy to add that right to your Canvas course. And you can add these wherever that rich content editor appears. So whether you're creating an assignment, posting an announcement, you can even do it in a discussion. Let's say you want to build a discussion around a certain video. You can just pull that Films on Demand into your Canvas course. So let me go over and actually go to Canopy. And this is kind of cheating. It's not really an LTI, but I'm going to go ahead and go to. I should already be authenticated into here, but let's go and find one of these videos from the Canopy catalog. Let's say this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the Battle of Algiers. I'm a history guy. And let's say I want to add this one directly into my Canvas course. If I were to share this URL here and just post that in my course, students would have to authenticate into this if they're off campus. It's authenticating me into here because it knows I'm on the CU Denver network, but let's say they're at home or in a different location. If they're an online student, obviously they're not going to be right on campus. It'll redirect them and ask them to log in. But if I have it within Canvas, they'll already be authenticated in. So the way that I can do that is when I click Share, I can grab this embed code right here, copy it. This is usually a hang-up, I think, with some. They're like, I don't understand what that code means. I'm not going to touch it. Just copy it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, just copy it, and we'll add it to a different page. I'm going to go ahead and add this to go back to my modules, add another page. Once I hit edit, and then this is the other most important step, I don't just paste that in right here, I just go to this little HTML editor. This allows me to embed all sorts of stuff. So, you know, in one of my in my Canvas for Power Users courses, I just say, you know, just don't worry and learn to love the embed code in the, the HTML editor. Just turn it there. You'll see that the tools are gone here, but once you paste in an embed code, Canvas will accept a lot of these from other sites. So even if it's not just Canopy Video, but sometimes like, you know, like PBS or other areas, it'll accept most embed codes. Usually it has to have this little URL within here has to usually be an HTTPS. Otherwise the browser will block it out because you're within a secure site and it's pointing to an unsecure site. That's usually what causes an issue. Sometimes you can hack around it and add the S yourself, but not always. But you post that in there, hit save, and it loads the video right within your Canvas page, and your students don't have to authenticate in to watch it. So it's a great resource. It's become my secondary Netflix. I'll watch these. I'll watch these at home and see some of the classic movies. They have a lot of like the Criterion collection on there. And, yes.
And is that only accessible on the downtown campus, or can you use your UC credentials to?
I believe it will only let you in if you're based on the downtown campus. You can try, but I think yes.
We purchase a lot of the same resources and license a lot of the same resources, but not everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would kind of doubt that would be something that would be on health science.
Right. I was looking for some. I mean, I think I asked the health science library before if they have access to films on demand or Canopy, and they said no. So unfortunately, it's kind of campus specific. But yeah. So if you're based on there, then.
My credentials are based here on the downtown campus.
Yeah.
I don't work on campus.
Yeah. Well, if your course is based on the downtown campus, yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, that's.
Yes. So if your department is based on the downtown, which you're at School of Ed, right? Your College of Ed, you're good to go with that, and your students are as well. The other thing from the library resources I'd like to share is we just created that resources page. So if you want to give your students a nice access to a nice little resource page in their Canvas course, if you go to navigation, there's a and this is because I'm not in the actual sub account. I'm actually going to change this just for the purposes of. Let's pretend I'm in College of Arts and Media. If anybody asks you, I didn't do this. But once we go to navigation, there we go. If your course is located in a sub account based on the downtown campus, you'll have this Auraria library page that you can move into your active course navigation just by clicking, dragging, moving it up here. When you hit save, you'll see that there's an Auraria library section here. You click on that, and it loads up just a page for getting started. You can start researching things right here. It has links to help with the library. You can even do a text chat with a librarian right here. So it's a good resource for your students who are maybe doing research. Just help point them in the right direction, and it has a presence within Canvas as opposed to just sending them to the Auraria library website or giving that kind of or just giving them that general information. One thing the library would like to make available is you can add a librarian to your course as a resource if you want. There's a special role now that we created within Canvas called librarian with minimal permissions, but they are allowed to participate in discussions. Let's say you want to have a discussion board and ask a librarian questions about research. You can do that, or you can have them as a point of contact within your course for research-based questions if they just want to use the conversation tool and talk to their librarian. reach out to the area library, and they're more than happy to add a librarian to your Canvas course. So that's not really an LTI; that's a person, but it's something that works within Canvas. Yes. Well, we'll need to actually build out the page first. So I'd want to work with a librarian at the Anschutz Medical Campus. If they have things like just information or widgets, this is just a Canvas page that they've built. It actually lives in a different course somewhere. So we created this, and so they created this. They created this page, made it like a public Canvas course, and we kind of kludged together the redirect tool and built our own little LTI app that basically just lets you point to this other page in another course for that information. But you're still within, we're within my video solutions class right here, but this page is just getting served up from a different spot within campus, and it's maintained by the library. So the librarians can edit and add and remove information here. Same thing exists for the Writing Center. We created a similar thing for the Writing Center too. I didn't include this in this presentation because I don't know why, but that research is in there as well, like contact information for the Writing Center. I think that has that's a really beneficial thing to have.
That's only in live classes, not sandboxes.
Not sandbox. Yeah, it has to be associated with the actual class because those actual classes are in the correct sub account. Yep.
So you said
Yes.
you could create Anschutz as well?
We could. I'm happy to work with Anschutz AMC librarians to get that done because we'll just use the same tool and we'll just deploy those into all the courses that are based at Anschutz. All right, so moving on. So what was I talking about here? Okay, a couple more educational video resources. Let's add, I'm going to add an actual assignment. Oops. And use the Khan Academy LTI. Now this Khan Academy tool is just free for you to add to any Canvas course. It's actually in the App Center. If you know where the App Center is within your Canvas course, you can just add that. There are no credentials to add or anything like that. Let's add 10 points. And we'll use external tool. This will create a grading item. And let's go to Khan Academy. And then you can just basically create a viewing assignment based on the library of Khan Academy videos. So let's say we wanted to get some remedial chemistry in there. Enter the periodic table, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff in there. Hit embed. Save. And you have the video right in there. And I think where this one, the assignment is based just on viewer, like on viewing the video, that kind of stuff. But if you just wanted to add it as content, it would show up in, let's say we're going in, let's say this is just a regular content page. You can just search for the content right within this tool here. So this is added by going into your course settings and apps, and then you can search for it in here. So let's go hit Khan Academy. It says it's already installed here, but when you click on that, you just hit Add App, and it's in there. You have access to that. Same thing works for that TED Ed tool as well. So you search various TED Talks for higher ed, and you can just embed those directly in your course. Yes, Jen.
I know you tried, but I'm if I were to add the apps in my sandbox, because I like to use the sandbox before I re-up the class for the semester.
Yeah.
Sometimes the LTI tools, they break the links and you have to reestablish. So all of the link content be there once they're reestablished, or do I have to reestablish that content once it's in the live course? Or you don't know?
I think it varies depending on the tool itself. I think for something like just content, it should just carry over. But yeah, I've been proven wrong many times before, so.
I never pay attention to which ones break and don't break.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to.
I think if something is very course specific, like an assignment, that might be an issue. But if it's just content, it should just stay the same because it's not really associated with a specific course. That'd be my guess. But sure thing. So let's go ahead. And let's look at a couple of other tools. The Office 365 tool is great, but I would recommend if you have that installed in your course and you just go to the Office 365 tool, it might initially ask you just to authenticate or log in using your credentials. Sometimes it'll just be an automatic redirect, but then you'll have access within here to all of your OneDrive files. But I think the real kind of killer app part of this is the collaborations. So when you go into collaborations, it gives you an option now to collaborate either using Google Docs or Office 365. When you choose Office 365, it reloads some content in here. And you can choose to collaborate using Word, Excel, or PowerPoint online. I think it's, I think that's a lot more powerful than just the regular Google Doc, because that's currently what you get in Canvas. It's just the document, like the Word document type of collaboration. So if you want this, our help desk can definitely install that in your course. The reason we didn't deploy it to everybody is because if you have an assignment, a graded assignment that's submitted with an Office 365 document, everybody automatically gets a 0 until you change the grade. That's no fun for anybody. So you could do that, but you just want to make sure your students know, like, yeah, this initial grade doesn't count. I haven't graded it yet. You don't actually get a 0. It's not an ungraded thing. I think they're trying to work on ironing that out, but until that happens, we're kind of hesitant to roll this out to everybody because I think it could just be a huge disaster. But with the collaboration, I like this piece a lot, and it works pretty much like Google Docs does, except everybody already has an account. They don't have to link their external Google account or anything like that to it. And just start working, and you get a nice, you get a view of the document history, all that kind of stuff. Oh, sure. Let's do a Word document. And I don't have any collaborators in this course, but if I hit save, it should just have a link to that collaboration once it saves it. And actually it goes ahead and actually launches the Word Online collaboration. And you can start working on it right away. See, it just saved that file or whatever. And then once you have those collaborators in there, they can all work on that same file, just like they would on a Google Doc.
If I want to tell my students, go to this collaboration, what do I do? Go to this page.
It'll have a list of, let's jump back in here. It'll have a list of these right here. And so you can actually do this within groups too. So if each group has a home page, they can set up their own collaboration documents there and invite the members of the group and set it up themselves if they want to. But basically they get a list of it, and it looks a lot like the Google Docs collaboration thing in here, except this one goes to Office 365. All right, cool. Moving right along. I think I got 5 minutes left. Let's show you a couple others. One thing that allows you to kind of customize your course a little bit more, and it's how we actually got this Auraria library thing to work, is using the redirect tool. Let's say you want to add something to the left-hand navigation here that's not part of the standard list of items on here. So if you want to get a little more, it's good to just keep this to a minimum anyway. I wouldn't go crazy with this, but let's say you want to link to either an outside site or a different page within Canvas. Let's say you want to have a separate policies, academic policies or academic integrity policies page on the left-hand nav, just so it's prominent and persistent within your course. You can use the redirect tool. So let's go to the apps. We can search for redirect. Redirect, and the symbol is this little arrow here. You have to kind of hover over it to see it. But when you add that app, and you can add this as many times as you want, but you want to give it the specific name. So this will be and then you can choose here to show it within, you can force open in a new tab for, let's say, an external link, like this is just going to be a link to see you online. You can show it in the course navigation, and I get this for, I get these different options. You'll mostly just get this one for course. Okay.
Because I would end up clicking all three. I don't know which one is which.
This would be, I would just use course navigation for if it's a resource that you want to share within your course. That would be this part right here. And so account navigation is a different spot. It's like out here, I think. So we'll go ahead and add the app. And let's go jump out to the home page, and you'll see was this one right here, and it just opens up cuonline.edu. That should be correct. Whatever. All right. That's what I get for not copying and pasting. But it should go to either an external site, or you can use that as like an internal to point toward an internal page as well. But let's do a little bit more customization on the left-hand menu. I remember when my previous institution moving from Blackboard to Canvas, a lot of instructors were like, "What do you mean I can't add whatever I want on the left-hand nav?" This is kind of a workaround for that. But at the same time, you'd see a lot of courses that had like 25 left-hand nav things, which is bad news. But yes.
So, kind of like your area library page. So if you had, because it's a redirect link, so you in theory, if your department had like a separate Canvas course that was public, institutionally shared, you could take a resource page from there, like if there was student orientation or policies for the department or the college, and you could always have that be part of the navigation if they needed that, like, for whatever reason.
Yes, if you want to, yeah, this is basically like kind of doing it yourself. Those things like the library tool, we wanted to do that, deploy that automatically, so it was part of the navigation, so we had to write a little extra thing on there. But if you want to do a DIY kind of thing, the redirect tool is the way to go for that. Those just have to be added manually to each course. You could copy it over, of course, from course to course as well, but that's the process for doing that, having a publicly viewable Canvas page in a published course. That's a way to do that. Yeah. All right. Any questions at all? Kind of flew through these, but that's kind of how the cool tools sessions always go. And yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, forgot about that. If you're interested in learning more about TechSmith Relay, that's kind of our new video tool that we have on there for hosting your own screencasts and videos. The way you add that is currently you just you'd ask me or the CU Online Help Desk to put that in your course, and then you can either as an assignment or as a content type, you can go to. Let's go ahead and build one out here. I'll go to my modules and. Go ahead and add it as a content page. And when I have my library of content here, once you have the tool installed in your course, you select the TechSmith Relay, and it should load up your TechSmith Relay content library that you have to create beforehand. Yes, so you have to create that on TechSmith Relay itself. You can add all sorts of different videos. So let's say we want to add this media here. Click on that, and it puts it right in your course. And give it it a second here. And you have that content directly in Canvas when it decides to open. You can also deploy it as an assignment because a relay allows you to add quizzes to your videos. So if you added it as an assignment, you would add it as, rather than putting it in through the content editor, you'd create an assignment via an external tool. Then it would let you select the video to use. And then students basically play the video and take the quiz. And you get the data sent to the gradebook. So, yeah, I think we're over time. So, if you have any other questions, I'll hang around for a bit. But thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Oops. Oh, there we go. Oh, and if you'd like a professional headshot at any time, our photographers are out in the hall, and they'll give you a they'll give you a nice looking picture. Oh, and also if you want to leave an evaluation, we have some forms on the front. Actually, it looks like on each table, but feel free to fill one out.